Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, MeInternally. My name is Naomi, and on this channel we learn about natural hair the natural way. So in this video I'm going to be talking to you all about breakage. Oh, if you are natural, you have experience, or if you haven't, God bless, so happy for you. But if you've been natural, most of us have experienced some sort of breakage. And even if you're not even natural, if you're relaxed, transitioning, or if you just have hair on your head, you have experienced some form of breakage before. And like I said before, if you haven't, God bless, leave some tips down below. But in this video, I'll be talking about breakage from my experience. So there's so many videos on YouTube that talk about breakage, what it is, how it's caused, how to prevent it, how to solve it. So I'm just talking about it from my point of view, and you might learn one or two different things, or you might say, oh wait, maybe that's why I'm experiencing breakage too. So let's get into the video. So first, what is breakage? Breakage is when your hair breaks off. So let's say, and I can insert some pictures, you have a starting length, let's say your hair is shoulder length, and over time you notice that your hair is breaking off. Maybe some parts look shorter than others. It could be in minor ways, it went off half an inch, or it could be in drastic ways, half of the length is gone, and that is partially what I'm experiencing right now. So the front of my hair, particularly my hairline or my edges, I've noticed some parts of breakage, and like I said, I can just insert some pictures right now for you all to see. And as you can see from the picture, my chin, the front of my hair, most of my hair is reaching the chin, the front, but along my hairline, especially on the right side of my hair or my edges, broke off, and it's either reaching my nose or it's as short as my eyebrows. So I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? So yes, breakage is the result of your hair breaking off, or it's damage, and there's many causes of breakage, and you know, it's really just a matter of figuring out, okay, what is the breakage, or how is the breakage working on your head, because every hair is different. And breakage comes in many different forms, like I said, so I'll be looking down below and I'll be telling you all how I experience breakage. So let's get right into it. So the first reason that I would like to talk about, and also breakage can be the result of dry hair, if your hair is too dry, and some people might say that breakage might be the result of not enough protein in their hair, because your hair is made of protein, specifically keratin, and that can be a cause as well. But I'm not talking about the obvious reasons as to why your hair might be breaking off. I'm talking about from my experience, and maybe some of the ways people might not really talk about, and it can have such simple resolutions. And these tips or these causes of breakage that I've experienced relates into other areas of my life or with my body. So it's very important to realize how everything is essentially connected, and if your hair is thriving, then your nails will thrive and other parts of your body will essentially thrive as well. So anyway, let's get started. So the first part, I'm talking from the beginning, so relaxer days, transitioning, then becoming natural. This has been an issue for me, and it's heat. Heat can break off your hair, and I'll start off in the first way. So I'll insert some pictures again. I've been documenting my hair care journey since, I want to say, my freshman year of high school, and I'm 23 right now, and I've noticed my hair transform in many ways, with growths, setbacks, just everything. And heat, I noticed, has caused my hair to break off at a certain point in my life. So I'll start off when I used to relax my hair. So I thought I was grown when I was in 5th grade. I don't know where I got $100 from. I think it was baby birthday money accumulated over time, and I decided to buy myself my first flat iron. It cost $100. It was a great flat iron, but the issue is with that flat iron, or not necessarily the flat iron, and I just want to backtrack a bit, we often blame heat, or we say, oh, it was the blow dryer's fault, it was the heat, it was the flat iron's fault, but sometimes it's our fault. We need to use it in moderation. So it's not necessarily the heat's fault itself, but how we're using the heat. So I just want to point that out first. So when I used to flat iron my hair, I used to probably put this flat iron in my hair multiple passes a day and at least more than once a week. And this was the whole entire 5th grade going into 6th grade that I used to use this flyer in my hair. And specifically where I used to use it was my bangs. And at the time when I was in middle school, most of my friend group was Hispanic, and there was a style what they used to do, and I can't believe I used to try to do it. The girls used to wash their hair, it would be curly, and they'll leave their bangs straight. Now, my hair is relaxed. What type of curly coils do you have? So I would wet my hair, and only one day I was able to achieve the style. I don't know how I did it, but it was really cute. And I wish I had a picture, and I tried scrunching it up. I used to use one, hot mess. And yeah, my hair just was limp. It was relaxed. It was fried, and I used to flat iron the front of my hair. Then sometimes I would not do that style. I'll wear my hair blow dried, or I'll have it whatever style it was in, relaxed obviously, and then I'll try and leave the front out, and I'll have my bangs of course flat iron, and I will only focus on the bangs. So imagine a whole year doing that. And what I think a lot of people might miss is that even though you've transitioned, even though you're natural now for so many years, think of the amount of damage you put on your hair over time, and and the result right now, or what you have to do of course, is heal yourself or heal your hair. And this could go apply to many areas of your life as well, but right now I'm just talking about hair. And so now think of a wound, right? Depending on the type of wound you have, it might heal faster than the other. So maybe you gave yourself a paper cut, so that will heal quicker than if you, God forbid, fell down the stairs and I don't know, maybe broke an elbow or something. So depending on the type of wound you have, it's going to take longer for your hair to heal, or for that wound to heal, or it depends on the type of products now you have to use. So paper cut you could heal at home, but depending on the type of wound, you might require more care, more professional help. So it really just depends. So for me, in my case, with the heat damage, it's heat damage over a long period of time. So I have to make up those years now of me firing my hair. And even though I did stop with the flat iron for that 1 year, after some time I still continued to go to the hairdresser, and I was every 2 weeks religiously washing my hair, getting blow dry, flat iron. So my hair is really trying to grow back and fight back those years of heat damage. So it's probably going to take some time, but I do see the effects being reversed a bit. And the same thing could be applied to the crown of my hair. I experienced so much damage to the crown of my hair, and I know a lot of naturals talk about this, or even when you're relaxed, a lot of naturals say the crown either breaks off the most, or is a different texture from the rest of the hair. And that's because that's the part that gets handled the most. So either you're gelling it down constantly, either when you're blow drying it, you want to make sure, okay, the leave out, everyone sees that part, it looks neat, it looks sleek. So that part of your hair is being damaged the most. And what I think caused that damage is, aside from the fire, whenever I did used to use it, was, another thing, fire in your hair, the crown, for me, is the tightest part of my hair. So I'm constantly putting multiple passes on that part, and I know I haven't gave myself heat damage, at least myself, when I used the flat iron. I did experience heat damage my senior year of high school when I did go to prom, so I know that area was due to heat damage, but it's all about using it in moderation. So I know from then on that I need to be careful when I'm using heat in the crown area. But also hooded dryers, when you're putting a roll in your hair, you're underneath, the crown of your hair is being touched the most, or the heat is being directly applied to that section. And even when you go outside, the sun, the heat, the exposure, that's directly hitting that area of your head. So you want to make sure that you're protecting it. And how do you protect it? I use carrot oil. I started to use that over the summer, and I just put carrot oil on the crown of my head. That way it's protected from all that extra UV rays. And in terms for heat, to combat those years of heat damage, I just simply stopped using heat. I haven't used heat on my natural hair, well, direct heat, since I want to say, well, first it was prom, and then I did use heat again for my graduation, which was last year, but I received no heat damage. And I could also insert a picture of how my hair looked when I fired it and when it reverted back, and I received no type of heat damage. So again, moderation, and then you can use heat. Another thing I would like to add, I started to think maybe the tension method started to thin out or break up my hair, because the back of my hair is really strong, my nape area, and I noticed that whenever I use heat there, or honestly whatever I do with the back area of my hair, it always seems to withstand any type of trauma to it. However, the front of my hair and the crown of my hair doesn't really have that much resilience, even though I do have type 4 hair. So I just have to be very mindful and just taking care of different parts of my hair differently. And so I noticed with the front of my hair, it starts to thin out a bit, and I only used to use a tension method maybe once a month, and then maybe every 2 months when I would heat style my hair, and that's just my way of stretching my hair. So I noticed the front of my hair was thin, it was brittle, and even though that part used to be straightened faster than the crown of my hair because it is the tightest, I noticed it would get so dry. The back of my hair would always be fine. So maybe 1 or 2 parts of the front of my hair used to take it well too, but the crown of my hair always just seemed to be so dry. So I'm just thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to reduce heat altogether, and I will limit the tension method. Now, the tension method is not direct heat, it's indirect. So if you've never experienced heat damage or dryness from this, then by all means continue to do so, but I've just started to question whether or not that has been a culprit for me, so I will reduce that. But beforehand, I think I used to not have any issues because I did use to moisturize my hair properly and seal it afterwards, so maybe it wasn't that. But I feel as though after I shaved my hair, because I did shave my head, I noticed a slight difference as to how my hair takes the tension method. So again, your hair changes over time, so once you notice that, you need to change with it. And I think that's all I have to say so far in regards to heat. So how I'm planning to combat that is just reducing heat for my hair. The next tip that I have, or the next cause of breakage, is the most obvious, and that's high tension hairstyle. So and which will also lead into the next culprit after this, but tension hairstyle. So this could be tight braids, this could be tight buns, this could be tight ponytails, this could be wigs pulling on your edges. It really just depends. So the first thing I would say is, if once you notice a style is too tight, immediately tell the stylist, and if you're doing it yourself, that's the easiest way. Remove the style or redo it. There's no style that's worth you losing all those years of growth. I mean, of course, hair grows back, and it can grow back, and you could just put in the effort, and you shouldn't obsess over your hair too much, but you shouldn't also risk your hair for a hairstyle. It doesn't make any sense. I remember what gave myself the ball spot is because I thought this hairstyle I created was so cute, and I felt it pulling on my hair. I even slept in it, and then I continued to do another hairstyle knowing it was pulling on my hair a couple of days later, and I saw the results of that damage immediately. Sometimes there's some hairstyles that it is too tight, but maybe our hair is able to withstand it, or sometimes it's so tight but we won't see the effects right away. It'll slowly start to sneak up on us. But then there's some styles it's so tight that you just see it immediately, and from there there was no type of prevention that you could have taken. There wasn't any type of, okay, let me go care for it along the way. It's here, and now what are you supposed to do? Now you really have to just figure out, okay, am I going to keep this style and just continue to break off the rest of my hair, or am I going to actually take out this style and show my hair the love that it deserves? So the hairstyle I had, I'll insert a picture, it literally was pulling out this middle part of my hair particularly. So what I decided to do was I took out the style, and that entire summer for 4 months, that's how long it took to grow my hair back. And like I said before, some people, there's no type of product that's going to grow your hair back overnight, especially if, depending on the type of damage your hair has experienced, it is going to take some time. There's some women or people with natural hair that are growing back their hair from years of heat damage. They still have hair damage on their head. Or even if you see those transitioning videos, to grow a relaxer to leave shoulder length or even heat damage takes about 2 years. This is even if you decide to shave your hair. It takes about 2 years for your hair to grow back to about shoulder length. So imagine that. a bald spot. So it really just depends on the years or the years of the damage and the type of damage that it's going to take for your hair to grow back. So just try and keep that in mind. So that part of my hair, it was a lot of damage that was done because it did clean my scalp. However, because I was used to already incorporating natural ingredients onto my scalp and onto my hair, I guess my hair was able to to bounce back. But I also noticed, okay, depending on the type of damage that was done, I needed to change my ingredients. So first I started off with Jamaican black castor oil. I think Jamaican black castor oil is too thick for your scalp. It might be great for your hair, but everyone's hair is differently, so works differently. But I really like black seed oil. It's a lightweight oil. So what I decided to do was I changed the oil I was using because I used Jamaican black castor oil at some point, and my hair just felt like it was taking too long to grow back. So I decided, okay, let me change it to black seed oil, and I noticed the hair slowly started to come back. And I also incorporated apple cider vinegar rinse. I believe either every 2 weeks or once a month I will spray that mix into that section of my hair just to lightly cleanse it, because I didn't want to put too much tension in that area. And I saw the results within 4 months, and I think within 2 months I started to see the hairs popping up or was slowly improving. I also for high tension hairstyles, let's say you really feel like you need this hairstyle, it's your birthday, or maybe it's you just want a certain braid look, tell the stylist, or if you're doing it yourself, can you not do some parts too tight? You can always get some parts retwisted. So when I had Marley twists I did myself, and I had this, I think in September to October, I noticed, or I felt as though the edges or along my hairline, it felt a little too tight. Now my hair was already starting to thin, I think, before that, so it didn't really matter. But I decided, okay, you know what, I'm going to end up redoing the parts. I started to redo it every now and then just to make sure it wasn't breaking off. But I was also, now that I think of it, starting to wonder if the hair of the Martis was so dry that started to eat up my hair. But I really don't think that that's the issue, because I did have Marley twists before this. So, but this just goes to say that if it's the hairstyle too tight, either take it out, redo it, make it not as tight, so loosen it a bit, or just don't do the style overall. So it really just depends. And then to grow it back out, I would say use natural ingredients. And if the last result is really seek medical attention and see if they could give you some type of topical product or medicine that'll help you to grow back your hair if you want to take the medical route. But for me personally, I just like to stick to natural ingredients. Next, I would say, sorry, I have to look back at my notes, is stress. I never realized until more so recently that, so I'm a teacher, and last year I noticed that around my edges my hair started to thin out, and that's never happened to me before. I know my edges are supposed to be the thinnest and typically the shortest part of your hair, but that has never happened to me before. And normally my problem area would be my crown, and even though over time I tried to grow out the front of my hair, and it's always taken so long to grow, and I think it is because of all those years of relaxing, I always knew that, okay, it's just taking a slower time compared to the back of my hair, but it would always grow. Usually my problem area is my crown. I never experienced any type of struggles with the front of my hair or my edges. So I used to do my hair in this high bun for school, and it was about a week I used to do that. So I started to think, okay, maybe that's what started to thin out my edges. Then another style that I noticed, I did a crochet. When I took it out, I noticed a couple days after my edges were a little thin, which never happened to me before either. So I was like, okay, keeping that in mind. And then the only difference is I didn't treat it immediately. So the black seed oil mix that I make, it's on my website, it's called Bald Be Gone. I have a hair growth oil that I used when I gave myself a bald spot the first time around. I didn't treat this bald spot immediately. I just kind of left it there. I wasn't as strict with my regimen or on top of my hair as I was when I had the bald spot. So I'm wondering if that's also part of it too. So depending on the damage or when you notice something is wrong with your hair, it depends on how fast you treat it. If you take too long, it's going to continue to break up, or it's going to, I feel as though maybe get to this stage of where it's stunted growth, and you have to now reverse it or go back in. So I was thinking of all those things, and then eventually I thought to myself, what if it's just stress? Maybe the school year was just so stressful that my edges were the first to go. And I'm even thinking about, so before I even go into or circle back, it just made me think of something. So let's think of a breakup. If you break up with someone, or a friend lose a job, whatever, sometimes the first area that you might feel something is your heart. Your heart starts to race, you start to feel really anxious, so all that tension is in your chest area. If you bang your foot, you're walking, you hit the door, your foot hits the door, your tension, or the area that's getting you the most pain, is your leg or your foot. If you slam your finger into the car door, the area that experiences the tension the most is your finger. So I was thinking to myself, okay, well, if I'm stressed, if I'm constantly thinking about school, what if all that stress, all that, the breakage I'm seeing or the thinning is going to my head, because it's not really affecting my chest or my heart, it's my head, and then that results into headaches. So when you have a headache, for me personally, my headaches, I don't really feel it in the back of my head. It's mostly my temple area and the front of my hair, and more so recently, that's where I'm noticing the thinning. So I'm thinking, okay, well, if this is where that area is experiencing the most tension, the effects of it now is, okay, maybe my hair will thin out. Now, I am not a medical doctor. I don't have any experience in that area. However, I was thinking to myself, okay, well, it could only make sense. Maybe. So, but I did see some videos online that people say that hair loss is not linked to stress. I really think there is a link, and even though I don't have a medical degree to prove that, I do believe there is a link there. So let me know what you guys think about my theory behind that. And also, going back into the tension part I discussed previously, I did start to put, so this is a wig, I can show you guys, I had cut out, so instead of doing the satin wig cap, because we need to work on my sewing skills, I took a old satin scarf and I cut pieces, so about this much I cut out, and I put it along my edges. So underneath my wig cap, I placed that satin material on my edges, and I just have it resting there, so that way when I take off my wig, or when it's sitting under for X amount of time, it's not pulling on my edges too much. I kind of want to see if I could put a cloth on the crown of my hair, so that way my crown isn't breaking up. But I've been wearing this wig for about 2 years now, on and off, and I haven't really experienced crown damage that I haven't seen before, because there's this one area of my crown that I feel as though has never really grown back the same since I became natural. But we're working on that. Again, it's growing back hair after the amount of times it's been damaged. So I think that's all I have to say in terms of stress. If I think of anything else, we can continue on the conversation in the comments below. And so how I'm planning to deal with this part is simply just finding different outlets or different ways of releasing stress. And one way is just speaking up. So again, last year was really stressful with school. Still a teacher now, and it's just giving myself some grace, talking to the teachers. Sometimes when you, or even if you're in a different profession, if you talk to the people and they're vulnerable about their experience too, it will make your experience so much easier, because then you'll know you're not alone, and that other people are feeling the exact same way, and that you can lift that burden off of yourself. So to try to, it's easier said than done, but talking to someone, finding things that make you happy. I love doing my hair, I love watching hair videos, I love writing, I love reading, I love sleeping, I love relaxing. So talking to family and friends. So find ways that you can release your stress. And if you can, wherever environment you're in, that, let's say the environment you're in is stressful, you might think to yourself, okay, how can I release that stress right there and then? Praying helps, talking to God. And if you don't believe in God or you don't pray, then I would say maybe for 5 minutes, if your job allows you to do so, walk outside. Sometimes, I never used to do this in my old job, but the school I might now sometimes come allowed to do so. in means I step outside for a little bit and I just take in the fresh air, and I come back inside. Talking to other people on the job helps as well. So it just really just depends on what you want to do and what your outlet is. And last but not least, another culprit that is slept on, not really discussed about, and I ignored it for so long, is diet, and specifically anemia. So I am anemic, and that's when your body does not produce enough iron. So I probably should go to the doctor for this. And because of that, I noticed that first, for me personally, being anemic, I noticed that my nails were the first to suffer, and my nails would break off a lot. But now that I've been taking care of my iron, this is the current length of my nails, which I'm so proud of. I feel as though there's just certain indicators that show that someone's healthy. Now, I'm not saying if someone's nails are long, that means they're healthy. No, I'm not saying that. But for me personally, that's one of the things I look at or think about. And I always wanted natural long nails, and I used to use this OPI nail strengthener, and I haven't even used it in a while. I've just been using my nail growth oil and taking my Sinatrogen tablets my mom always told me about. It's iron tablets, and I can link it down below. In my previous video, I have one link just for people to see how it looks like. It is not $56. Please do not pay for the $56 one. You can pay for iron tablets at Walgreens for like $12. And I also take omega-3 fish oil, and I've been taking both of those tablets religiously every morning, and I think that's really helped in strengthening my nails. The only nail that has broken off so far and didn't even break off that much was this nail, and look how long it still is. And all my other nails, I feel as though, like, before, I can show you guys, like, I'm bending it. Before, my nails would break off. I could just go like this. Oh wait, this nail did break off as well the other day. Was it this nail? It might have been this nail, one of them. I was in the car and I had accidentally hit it a certain way, but still, that's still fantastic for how long my nails should have been broken off by now. So yeah, that's really impressive. And another thing I would say that can attributed to my nails growing and not breaking off is spinach. I've incorporated spinach at least into my meals twice a day. So I love egg salad, so if I'm having an egg salad sandwich, I put spinach in there. If I'm eating rice or a salad, or depending on what I'm eating with my meal, I just take some spinach with me to work, and I have spinach at least twice a day. And I think that has really helped me because spinach is a great source of iron, and I really hope to work on my iron intake along the way. Salmon is really good too, but honestly I haven't even been eating it as often. But I would really just say it's those three things: spinach, iron tablets, and fish oil. And why I mention those three and I mostly only talked about my nails is because at one point, I'm not saying this is linked to it, so one way that some people might be able to tell that someone is anemic is based on what they eat. It's called pica. So that means that you crave substances that are not food. So it could be ice, sand, paper, and I love to eat ice. Oh, so bad. But when I started taking my Cider tablet and my fish oil, I noticed that I don't crave it as much. The only thing is I bought a Ninja blender, side note, and I mostly only bought that so I could try and make my own conditioner, because if you know, I do have my website where I sell hair care products. I'm still working on a conditioner, so I bought that for that purpose. But I realized I could blend ice, and it is so good, but it's not the same as chewing ice. But I'm not trying to promote ice, so no. But I'm really trying to reduce my ice intake, but I've been doing really well, so I'm going to pat myself on the back. Yes. And yeah, so when I noticed I would eat too much ice, so over the summer and into this year, into like now, I started to eat ice a lot, and it was really bad how much I used to intake it. And I noticed that my nails would become so brittle. Like there's a little indicator, I wish I could show you all, where it looked like in a way like water had touched my nail, or if you see how paper looks like, let's say you wet a piece of paper, and if you, sorry, that's my dog, and you wet the paper and there's a little crinkles, that's how my nails will look like, and that indicates, okay, well, the paper is about to break. Now my nails touch water is not as bad, but I feel as though when I would eat too much ice, it would make my nails break, and I noticed that was more so recently. So again, I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm not sure how true that is. So I was just thinking to myself, okay, if this is what it's doing to my nails, what is it doing to the inside of me? So I just really wanted to make that point. Sorry, because I think my brother came upstairs and my dog's barking, but I really just wanted to make that point clear and just really work on that. So how I'm planning, I also want to make sure I work on my water intake. I really need to drink more water because I am slack in that area, and your hair needs water to thrive. So your body, as much as water is important for your body, I could just imagine how important it is for your hair. So I'm really trying to work on my water intake inside my body instead of just how I'm applying it to my hair. So yeah, that's it for the video. I hope some of these causes helped you, or maybe gave you some more insight as to how hair breakage works. If you have any questions, or even if you don't agree and you have your own reasons, leave it down below. And yeah, let's just start a conversation on breakage, but most importantly, how to solve it and reduce it, so that way other people, they don't have to run into breakage, and that way we don't have to have unnecessary setbacks in our journey. Yes, some things come along the way that we may not have control of, such as stress and our diets or our health, but if we can control it, let's work on it. So thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you on the next video. Bye.